Hey, what's up? This is DJ Prostyle.
And this is Penny Dellas.
And this is Teach Me Something.
Brought to you by Berkeley College.
Welcome to Teach Me Something, presented by Berkeley College, powered by iHeartRadio. It's Penny Dellas with
DJ Prostyle. How you guys feeling today? Hopefully everyone has had an amazing day or night whenever you're listening or watching this.
If you're driving, drive safe. We're all about safety.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Okay.
If you're streaming us straight through episode 1 and 2 to episode 3, I applaud you for binging this podcast.
I love it. And listen. We're not wasting any time.
No,
okay?
we're not.
This is our third episode, and we're jumping right in with our first celebrity guest coming by today.
Do you think they're ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not ready. No, I'm just playing. Of course
I don't know.
I'm ready.
I'm fangirling on the inside. It's really cool for us to have our first celebrity guest.
And he is a mega global superstar. Who's known everywhere. You've probably heard his records everywhere. He crosses every genre of music. We are talking about Sean Paul's going to be joining us.
It's crazy because he started in water polo.
That's crazy.
Water polo to the world.
And first of all, I applaud you, right? Because you've done. I've interviewed Sean Paul like 5 or 6 times in my career, and Penny over here is bringing up things that I didn't even know about, which is either really good on your behalf or just really bad on my behalf.
Well, you know what? I wasn't going to reflect poorly on you today. We're a team.
We're a team here.
It's market research. That's the marketing. Shout out to Berkeley College with the research.
Exactly. So everything happens for a reason. And I knew that one day, the day was going to come that I was going to be doing a podcast with Penny and with Berkeley College. And I said, I'm going to save some questions for some of these artists that I'm not just going to air on the regular radio show. I'm going to save them for this. For Teach Me Something.
That was such a good save, and I applaud that.
So in all reality, when Sean Paul does join us, which will be any minute now, people.
Any minute now, he's on his way to the studio.
What do you want to talk to him about?
Honestly, I really want to speak to him about his legacy and influence. Because, I mean, this individual is a powerhouse.
Yes.
He's a living legend.
Absolutely.
And his career spans
decades. But
the fact that he started in water polo,
amazing,
and studying commerce, French cuisine, and then you pivot into music. For me, it's finding out what was that pivot, what drove that.
Yeah, when did it happen, and how did it happen? And we're gonna find all that out in this episode, which is incredible. By the way,
I want to know, like, does he still play?
Does he still swim?
Yeah, does he still do water polo? We have questions. He has answers. We need to find this out.
Yes, that's going to be amazing. And his whole background and everything he's done is just incredible. If you guys don't know, we're talking about Sean Paul here, and it's just exciting. And for him to be the first guest on this amazing show and this journey that we're going to be on, first of many guests that will be here.
It's really cool. And for those of you who do not know who Sean Paul is, he is...
Shame on you.
Well, yeah, shame. But no, he is...
Sean Paul.
He's just a legend.
Who hasn't Sean Paul worked with?
And Get Busy.
Yeah.
Temperature. Doing Sasha, right? In Love With You. He's just done so much.
Baby Boy.
Baby Boy with Beyonce. Don't get me started. That was on repeat in my car.
Come on. He has
in high
so
school.
many records with Dua Lipa, records with Sia, records with everyone you could think of.
Insane.
Yeah.
Do a quick Google search. We're gonna throw some teasers.
We'll give you a second. Ready? And there you go. That's enough time. You should already see who Sean Paul
Pro
is.
was gonna do some karaoke,
Everyone
but
knows,
we didn't want to break your ears with that.
Yeah, sing us a Sean Paul record before he comes here. Or you could do it now, or you could do it when he's here.
Let's not. And
Just
say we did.
You know what's funny? People always, when I was younger, it's still to this day, especially after he cut his hair, they'd be like, you and Sean Paul look alike. Like when we post pictures together. Yeah. Especially if I like,
are we twinning?
Yeah, we'll be twinning, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's probably going to come in here with sunglasses, so I'll probably wear sunglasses.
I love it. Well, we just got word he's approaching. He's walking down the halls. So he's going to be with us right after this.
Hey, so welcome back. Of course, this is Teach Me Something presented by Berkeley College. Prostyle, Penny, we are here with our first special guest on this podcast.
Are you pumped? Like, I'm psyched right now.
I am super hyped.
This is insane.
This is my brother. First of all, let's introduce him. Sean Paul is here, ladies.
Yo.
Yes. Welcome to the podcast. Before we get started, you pointed something out very important. Penny, unfortunately, didn't get the memo about having to wear sunglasses.
I did not.
Okay?
What
so
is?
luckily, somebody
I'm
brought
not
an
part of
extra
the
pair
tribe.
here.
Wow.
We can't. We can't do this
That's a
right.
good shades too.
All right.
Aye.
All right,
There
let's
you go.
go.
Now we're
Okay.
ready.
That's
Now
dope.
All
we
right.
can do this, Penny. Now
You got to see
All
straight,
right,
Penny. You
let's
got to
go.
put
This
on
was
your
the
shades.
pre-introduction.
this is you
I'm
know.
finally part of the crew.
Now you're
I
part of
feel
the crew.
loved. I feel loved.
Let's go.
For listeners at home, we are here at Teach Me Something, presented by Berkeley College, powered by iHeartRadio.
That's right.
Like my colleague here, Pro, stated. And it is our pleasure to have a renowned global artist,
Thank you.
entrepreneur, businessman. How do we go from water polo to taking the globe by storm? We're here with Sean Paul, everyone.
That's
Give him a
right.
clap
To
on.
the
Yes.
world. Yeah.
That's a
No
great
flow.
introduction. When I introduce myself, it's my bros in the building.
Yeah, water polo to the world. That should be the new tagline.
Right? Well, thank you for the accolades. You know, I mean, I do music. I love to do it, and it brings me a lot of different opportunities, and I make use of those. You know what I mean? So that's kind of all it is. It's been step by step, process by process, you know, stepping stone by stepping stone. So, you know, my father and my mother met in the swimming pool in Jamaica. They used to swim together as 13-year-old kids. Then about age 20, they got together. They had me. They used to teach people to swim every summer. And then I kind of like came along as the 4-year-old, and they were like, you know, kids being afraid to swim, and they would throw me in the pool and say, look, he could swim, and swim with him and play. And so I kind of helped to teach a lot of people to swim. I didn't start swimming, competitively until I was about 13.
Wow.
Same year, my father went to prison. Actually, I was about 12 when I started swimming and trying to live up to his, because he was basically a champion in the
Swimming world.
in swimming world in Jamaica and the Caribbean. So was my mom, backstroke champion. Father was butterfly champion.
Wow.
I'm talking about meets in the Caribbean and that kind of stuff. So I started to swim competitively at 12, and then by 13, my father went to prison, and he got 15 years. So I was faced with not having that mentor anymore.
Wow.
I started to look to sports people, like my coach, who went to the Olympics as well. Big up Andrew Phillips. I also just like looked up to people like Michael Jordan, and you know, everybody who achieved, everybody who kept doing it and stayed with it. And I've kind of figured out or felt at the time that, you know, even if I'm not the greatest at it now, one day I'll be. And I try to teach that to my kids now. So swimming didn't work out for me in that respect, but it gave me a lot of discipline. I swam till I was about 19, played water polo for Jamaica till I was about 24. And that's the time when, about 17 years old, I started doing more music. I started, you know, my brother's in a sound system that we spoke about earlier, like a group of DJs that play music for people. And then I started to elevate from, you know, just being someone who writes songs to actually recording them and putting them out. So it was a gradual step. It wasn't really water polo then the world, as you were saying. It's like water polo, doing school, going through it. Pops ain't there, mom's struggling, trying to like be the man of the house.
Yeah.
You were faced with many adversities, but it forced you to pivot.
Yeah, it made
and
me tough.
own what
it made me tough. It made my skin tough. It made me kind of focus on what I wanted to do. And when I saw music and it gave me that much joy to do, I was like, that's it for me. I'm going to do that. I was in college at the time when I started to actually record. So the day would consist of going to school in the morning, and then by like 2 o'clock, I'm off. I'll go to the studios, chill out there till about 5, go to training, train from 5:30 to about 7, and then go back to the studio smelling like chlorine.
Yeah.
And just be there till 12 at night, and then start the whole process over in the day.
And you did that all through
I did that all through college, yeah. The last year of college was when one of my songs broke, and, you know, people was like, yo, who is this kid? And so there was no turning back. However, swimming gave me the discipline, and college gave me knowledge and discipline as well, and then put me on to the path that I'm on today.
So if the music career never took off for you, what were your plans?
I'll probably be. I mean, my father did a lot of crazy stuff. When he came from prison, he went back to being a coach at the water polo. So I probably would do that. I still am involved with them, and you know, people who play water polo in Jamaica, and try
That's
to.
awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we try to
awesome.
coach and try to be there, trying to get my kids into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tradition.
One thing you said is discipline, and that's so important. We talked about, and I think we've talked about this in one of our other shows on our other podcasts, is even if, you know, like with my kids, like we put them in all the sports specifically for that, right? Like even if they're not into that or that's not what they want to do in life,
Exactly.
the discipline that they learn from being in a team and having, you know, to show up and do practice and do things like that
and don't
and
quit.
be there exactly and not
work
quit
hard.
will further them in anything they decide to do in life.
For sure. My son loves soccer right now. We call it football in Jamaica. So I'm not saying, no, you got to do swimming. I'm like, whatever you want to do. So he does both things, but he's more interested in soccer. And, you know, I'm there for him when I'm there. You know what I mean?
Those football checks are a lot bigger, I suppose.
Yeah, they are.
Swimming.
They're swimming. They definitely are.
those contracts are different.
So, you know, fingers crossed.
So your trajectory, I mean, from Get Busy to Temperature to collaborations with artists like Sia, Dua Lipa, Farruko, Sasha, Lil John. If we can go on, and we'll be here until probably, you know, tomorrow. But when you're in the studio and you're going through your creative process, does any of those modalities of discipline from your younger years impact that, or have you now steered to a new formation?
It's funny because, you know, loving what you do is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it has never felt like hard work. Sometimes nowadays with the family, with the kids, it's like being away from them, that's difficult. But I've always loved to go into the studio and, you know, get this song right, attack this rhythm in the right way. I haven't done a song that I've heard my bass fans be like, "Oh man, you fell off, bro." You know, I've always put the discipline into working, doing my thing, and so you know, I'm a perfectionist that way. I got to get it right, so we keep on going back to the studio and cranking it out. So yeah, it did help in terms of that, but because it's so much fun, it don't feel like work.
Doesn't feel like work.
Nah.
Well, we're working now. It doesn't feel like work.
Exactly.
We just have fun.
We chilling.
Right?
So more than the music, with the influence you have on the youth, the younger generation, and the people coming up and looking up to Sean Paul, you know, now that you're at that level, do you move differently because you know there's people looking up to you, and is there like a message that you're putting out for the kids to follow?
I definitely try, bro. I mean, we are human beings, you know. So like, there's some times where people might find me cussing the hell out of somebody. Excuse my language, but like that's a human response.
Yeah,
and it's to learn patience and to learn to be more, what can I say, amicable with people, or you know, to be a more zen character. That's sometimes one of the hardest things to do in life.
Especially for the career, for the span that you've been in. I mean, if I think about it, now that really coming to think about it, I've never seen like a drama with Sean Paul.
No, there's been a lot.
You've carried yourself,
there has
or
been
you've
a
done
lot,
really
though.
good at keeping that under.
Yeah, I keep all of that in you know, packed away because honestly, first of all, I don't think that's my personal business. Whatever challenges I have, and I don't want the general public to be like either sympathize with me, or get me wrong in whatever. So I don't put those things out there.
Yeah,
I fight my personal fights. I do what it is, and 100%. I get to work. Kind of like, you know, I don't do a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I'm not in a job where I'm dependent on for a certain time to a certain time every day. But I do put my hat on just like those people who grind every day.
100%.
In that job where they need to be accountable from the 9 to 5 or whatever times they're doing their thing. And it's because, you know, that's what I don't think that the general public could help me solve my problems.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to deal with that myself.
Yep.
And it's not going to come out in the public where, you know, this and that happened, mostly. and I'm gonna just kind of do my thing, and then be professional about it. That's the word I was trying to
Plus,
get to.
look, man, there's a saying, and it's, you know, the energy you put out is the energy you get back, right?
Exactly.
And
man.
that's one thing I've always carried for myself. Like, when I'm on the radio, you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be high energy, positive vibes only.
Vibes.
It doesn't matter what happened that day with me, what I'm going through, what bill hasn't been paid, or what
True.
fight I got into with whoever.
True.
When I hit the airwaves, it's a positive energy. It's
Same
always
way.
happy. Everyone I talk to is always like, oh, you always sound happy. You always like you're having a good time. And that's just the energy I want to give people, because I want them to have that energy.
Yeah.
This is just times when you hear somebody and you're like, wow, they sound depressing. Like, why would I want to be,
Yeah,
listen
I
to
don't
somebody
wanna
who's
bring people
depressed?
down with my
Exactly.
stuff, man. So,
Awesome.
So same thing, professionalism. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It's a thing that in this chaotic world of music, people might not think we do use, but
Yeah.
we use professionalism all the time to navigate through all these kind of crazy vibes.
That's
in
awesome.
life, you know.
That's really good. I'm soaking it all in.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm a fan. So
Are you
I'm
gonna
just
wear
sitting here.
sunglasses moving forward?
I don't know. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll
I
wear
keep
them.
looking
over
I'll
at
wear
Penny
them
like-
when we go to the show too.
When this is
them.
over, Penny's either gonna say that was great, or she's gonna be like, I felt so crazy wearing sunglasses.
I know. I
And
can't see my paper.
Berkeley
couldn't
College,
read.
Berkeley College is gonna hit you and be like, so Penny, what's going on with this look?
Oh no, but no. Flipping over to great takeaways.
Yeah.
You kind of answered. We always end with a question about a piece of advice you would give your younger self, but you really have dropped many gems.
Yes.
But I do want to touch on your philanthropic and your activism side, because you spoke about giving back
Yeah.
to your country and you carry your culture in your heart and on your sleeve.
Yeah, man.
So tell us a little bit about that.
You know, for when I was a kid, you hear the sayings, each one teach one. You hear the saying, it take a village to grow a child. And it honestly did. For me to be who I am as an adult today, because I looked up to the great people, and my mom encouraged that. You know, even within my own country, she's like, this guy, very successful business person. Listen to anything he says. Anytime you see something come out in the newspapers about it, read these things. You know what I'm saying? Look up to the sports people. Look up to anybody who you know what I mean, just been trying for the longest time and been doing their thing. So for me, that's what it's been about. And I think that, you know, you can't be that other person, but you can take examples from their life and learn things that help you throughout your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's it for me.
Be a sponge.
Yeah.
And take what works for you and incorporate that.
Yeah, and try to do it in your style. Don't copy somebody.
Yeah.
But as you said, be the sponge and you know, soak up all the good positive things that you see people achieving and doing, and try to reach for that. You know.
That's beautiful. So what are you up to now? Tell us about what's going on now in your entrepreneurial development.
Right about now, you know, we help people on a daily basis in Jamaica. It's a country with the best things, the biggest things, and also the worst things, the slowest things. And we all have to help each other to get around that. You know what I mean? It has to do with just the culture of the country in one part. And so I help people on a daily basis, from, you know, kids, students in school. As I was saying, I'm with the water polo, helping them that way. We try to help as much as possible a music school right now called what's Alpha? I was gonna say Ardent. Sorry, it was slipping me. So big up to Alpha Boys School. They have been a legendary school teaching music and like band, like marching band type stuff, and also being in a band type music.
Oh wow.
But also I tried to upgrade their computer system a couple years ago so that they could actually start producing like modern day, you know, instead of just learning on a band, which is kind of crazy to say, instead of just, because that's a discipline and a great thing.
Exactly.
A lot of people skip past that now because of technology. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm giving those people the opportunity as well, who are just more inclined for, you know, knowing the Ableton good and whatever, and they could start producing as well. So, those type of things. It's an everyday process in Jamaica, honestly. I mean, you go out and people they'll give you your accolades, but they also pour their heart to you. And I see where I can help in any way I can.
That's awesome.
That's extremely powerful. Looking at the legacy that you've created. You're a living legend. You've created a legacy. You've created impact. And you show great pride in the impact that you've created. We do something at Berkeley College that we say describe Berkeley College in one word with our students. So in one word, if you could describe what your legacy would be, what you want it to exemplify, what would that be?
A lot of times when people speak to me, just text me or WhatsApp, I just answer them greatness, because it's all great.
Greatness.
It's all great. I mean, it's you know, every step, every breath that you take, you should give thanks for.
Yeah.
And it's all greatness, every step of it, because I wouldn't do nothing different, you know? I wouldn't do anything different back in the past. I learned what I learned at different stages that helped me to be who I am today and who I am now. And so for me, it's all greatness. So I answer people and I say greatness. So I don't mean I'm the greatest. I don't mean, you know, the greatest person in the world. I'm just saying, I meet you at the club at 5 o'clock. Okay, greatness. It is great to me. And so that's the word I use to describe not just me, but life in general. It's greatness.
Are you going to drop an album called Greatness?
I don't know. Yeah, you gave me an idea.
Right?
I'm just thinking there. I already
Yeah.
see it. It's showing Greatness. That's a good name for an
That-
album.
I don't
You gave me an
know.
idea.
That's a good name for
that's
an
a good
album.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, ask for your 5% when it comes out.
Yeah. No.
That's greatness.
Greatness.
Is it? Come on.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being with
so
us today.
much.
We appreciate your
Yes.
time
Thank you for the
and your
time as well.
greatness.
And your
Come on.
greatness. This is Berkeley College. This is
Yep.
Sean Paul. And teach me something. We have more on the way.
Yeah, tune in every Monday
That's
wherever
right.
you get your podcasts. It's Penny Dellas, CJ Prostyle.
Yes.
Follow us on socials.
Sean Paul.
Penny, Prostyle, and Sean Peasy. We out.
Let's go. Wow. How awesome was that? Sean Paul. And the story is just incredible.
Yeah. Honestly,
And
I
applaud
learned.
to you. Applaud to you. Let me
thank
ask you a
you.
question. Is that your
Thank
first
you.
time actually interviewing like an artist?
No,
No? Okay, I could tell.
of his caliber, yes.
Because your questions were on point. I
Oh,
kept
thank
looking
you.
over at you. You probably didn't
Oh,
see me
thank
because
you.
of the shades, you know,
Oh,
but
thank
I
you.
was like, look at it. Like,
We had shades
She's
on,
doing this.
y'all. We had shades. Shout out to the assistants in the back,
Yeah.
blessing me with some sunglasses. We'll see how it looks.
I
when
told
we
you
post
before.
social
Remember, I
media.
said he's probably going to be wearing sunglasses. That's
You
why I
did
brought
say
mine.
that.
Yeah, I took
but
mine off. I feel like
You should-
it's so much
see,
brighter
this
in
is-
here now.
We need to communicate more efficiently.
I think we should always just have a pair on the side.
By the way, everyone, okay, Pro and I have phone sessions. So we prep. And nowhere in this phone
Did I say
session
bring
was
some
bring
sunglasses?
some sunglasses
Yeah, I
just
didn't
in
think
case.
about that, but-
we talk about matching.
Yeah.
We talk about questions, all the research.
I always, happens when we do stuff and I do stuff with artists and they have sunglasses on, then I look at the video and I don't. I'm looking at my eyes. I'm like, oh, like right now, my eyes are like, I'm always like squinting. And so I'm like, why am I not wearing sunglasses? And I'm like lack of sleep and everything else. And I'm just
Yeah.
so other than when it's just us, I'm going to
Yeah.
just always have sunglasses ready to go.
This is I just like, you know what? We should just have props
Yeah.
on the side of prop box.
Which moving forward,
We should take a note from Crystal Rosas on Z100.
Yes, shout out to
and have a
Crystal. I was
prop
gonna say
box.
a prop box, and we're gonna start having like trivia games and other things.
That's
Maybe
great.
we could have the students at Berkeley come up with some amazing questions.
That would be great.
for the artists.
That would be great. We should have an intake and they can drop some questions and then we can ask them live.
We could actually.
That's great.
That's actually, you know what? Since we'll start planning. We'll know in advance sometimes when sometimes like Sean Paul was on the last minute fly, but some will be in advance. We'll know in advance, some we won't. But so either way, if we know the artist, we could actually put it out there like, hey, what should we ask them? Or, in general, what would you like to know from the artist?
And also for those of you listening, if you have questions, what we'll do is that we will drop a story box and you can input your questions for a celebrity that will be recording.
That'd be awesome.
And you'll know like last minute because we don't want the secrets to be out
for
those tuning in.
That's right.
But I did learn quite a lot from him, and
So did I.
it was so inspiring to hear everything he does. Greatness. That was his takeaway. Greatness.
Yeah.
But he was very inspiring. Everything he does with Jamaica and giving back and going and coaching the water polo teams
It's a beautiful
and
thing.
everything he does. It was just very moving. We tend to look at artistry, right, and creativity as glitz and glam. But when you lift the veil and you understand that we're all just people, what do we stand for? Who are we as a person? And it was so beautiful for him to share his story with us.
He's such a positive soul, and that's why he's gone so far in his career, and he'll continue to. And who you saw today is who he really is. I've known Sean Paul, and I've dealt with him for like decades. Yeah. And he has been the absolute same person the whole entire time, and he's just a positive soul to be around. And he'll continue to be that way and give us greatness.
Give us greatness.
And when that album comes out, Greatness, just know that it stemmed off of this Berkeley College series.
I think Pro's going to ride that into the night.
Yeah.
Greatness stemmed from
I'm telling you,
Teach Me Something.
When you hear that he's putting out an album and it's going to be called Greatness,
it came from here.
It came from this episode.
It started from this episode at Teach Me Something with Berkeley College and iHeartRadio. But all jokes aside, thank you so much for tuning in. Our takeaway for this episode is greatness. Be great.
Yeah.
Be the impact. Lead with character. So, Pro, you want to take us out?
I mean, I think you just said it. I mean, that's what I would say. You know, greatness is the thing. There's two things I got from this, though.
Yeah.
There's that, and one thing he talked about, and I know we've mentioned this, and I think every single podcast, whoever we talk to, it's going to come up, discipline.
Discipline.
I feel like that is the word that I use in my household now, and with everything I do for myself in life, whether it's whatever you're on, whether it's a health journey or, you know, something you're trying to do in business or in school, discipline is so key to everything.
That is key.
Everything. And he mentioned it a couple times in his, you know, when he was talking today. And every time I hear it, it just reminds myself like that's. And I find myself sometimes when I'm veering away or not being as focused as I should on things. There really
because
needs to be.
Because it's not easy.
No, you could get distracted or you could just get lazy at times and you put things off to the side. Discipline is so important, and
holding yourself accountable.
Accountability.
Holding yourself to self-awearness. That's the number one thing.
Yes.
You have to be self-aware. You have to be held accountable. Discipline doesn't come easy.
Those are all, you know what? Those are going to be, we're going to do different podcasts on those.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to.
No, 100%.
We're going to do one on discipline, do one on self-awareness, do one on accountability.
And for our students, they know through our Center of Academic Success, the CAS at Berkeley College, we offer time management. We offer prioritization workshops. So there are workshops that give our students those transferable skills from the classroom to real world. So, guys, greatness and discipline.
Yes.
All right. You heard it
Till
here.
next time.
Till next time, tune in every Monday here on iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, Teach Me Something with DJ Prostyle and Penny Dellas, sponsored by ourselves.
Hey, thanks for listening. Tune in next week
for an all new episode of Teach Me Something.
brought to you by Berkeley College.